everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Garbage Heart Hot Review 2018 for the Scout Island Screen Park right here in New Orleans, Louisiana. This was the big dance. If you listen to the marketing, if you hear the buzz on the street, it was buzz. No, if you hear the buzz on the street, it was all about Scout Island. How's it going to be? And every time we go to a haunt and we get recognized, the very first question we get asked is, have you been to Scout Island?
Well, not only that, but I had more people at work asking me about what I thought about Scout Island than they've talked to me at haunting at all.
Yeah. And it was a little bit bad for us because with the Chicago trip and the Shreveport trip, we couldn't go early in season. We needed a whole evening to dedicate to this because it's a theme park.
Right.
We needed a whole evening, and we weren't going to get one until later in season.
Yeah, and even then we only got 2.5 hours,
yeah,
really.
Even then we didn't get enough time, honestly. Now, we paid $39 for our tickets. It was the all-access. It included entry and admission to Scout Island, the ability to ride all the carnival rides you want, and admission to all 3 of the haunted attractions, plus all the scare zones.
Yes.
Well, the scare zones were included in the basic admission. And this honestly is my first thing I want to say. I was confused as hell by the ticketing system.
Yes.
I have never been more befuddled in my life by a ticketing system than trying to buy tickets for Scout Island, because we bought them way early.
Yeah, when they were on sale.
When they first went on sale, because they were on sale. Yeah. And we are broke.
Yeah.
We like saving money.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ended up buying our tickets way early on super deep discount, but it was still $39 for those full access tickets. Now they had that. They also had a $99 ticket for some days where it was a VIP party with an open bar. And I'm like, and I almost said challenge accepted, but unfortunately we were open those nights and I couldn't accept the challenge.
Right.
So, dang it. They had rum. I could have probably...
You could have.
I probably could have destroyed enough rum to make that worthwhile. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. So, let's start with the park itself. We got to break this down into its requisite pieces. I think it's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
The park itself. I had never been to Scout Island, the park, before.
No.
It's always been kind of more of a kiddie thing to do. Like, people talk about you take your kids to it. And I've always been a grown-ass adult since I've been in New Orleans.
Right. That's true.
So I never really thought to go.
Yeah.
The Ferris wheel was broken. That had one person in our group really miffed.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to get on the damn Ferris wheel. I've never seen a grown man want to get on the Ferris wheel that bad in my life, to be honest with you. But to each their own. To each their own.
They don't have a lot of rides that he can ride.
Yeah, or rides I would want to ride myself either.
Yeah, exactly. That is one that I would have gotten on.
Yeah. They had like a pirate ship ride and a few other things. But yeah, the Ferris wheel was not working, and that made several people very sad. And judging from other reviews we've seen, apparently it was broken pretty much the entire season.
Yeah.
They did not have a great deal of food and drink. They had a food area right by the entrance, which was the food/bar/entertainment venue type thing.
Right.
/picnic area.
That was
bizarre.
the Kraken, right?
Yeah, the Kraken. And they did not have Kraken rum.
Oh. Boo.
Immediate 0 stars on your entire... No.
No.
We don't do stars.
No.
Thumbs down, 0 stars. Okay. You missed opportunity. Okay. But anyways... I did not realize, though, that it was also the food place.
Right.
Until as we were trying to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until then. The only other food vendors they had a couple of places, like the standard little pop-ups that you get at fairs.
Food. Yeah.
And unfortunately...
Which I love fair food.
I love fair food, but I was also deprived of my, my funnel cake.
Right.
I'm deeply upset about that. Because we get there, like, we're approaching the place like 20 minutes before closing. Like, oh, we got to change the oil. It's going to be 15 minutes before we get a funnel cake.
Yeah, and then you're going to be closed. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just say, sorry, no funnel cakes?
One quick thing about the park also is no maps.
Yes. Or there was one map at the very beginning and not even sprinkled around.
Yeah, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, while it's not the biggest theme park in the world, you can pretty much see from one end to the other. But it is still big enough so that, especially when you first arrive and you don't have your bearings, you can feel very lost. And we did not actually locate one of the scare zones.
Right.
We tried to find it. I know we're missing
Yeah.
one of the scare zones. I don't remember which one it is. We did the pirate one, and we did
the Headless Horseman.
the Headless Horseman one. I think there was a third that we missed.
There was a third something.
There was a third something we missed. But anyways, we did hit all 3 of the attractions. And I want to say kudos to the team, they're also the team behind the mortuary here. One of our bigger gripes this year about the mortuary was their throughput was not so good.
Nope.
It was actually quite bad. Even very short lines were taking a very long time to get in. So I pull up to these attractions and I see these long ass lines, and I'm going, well, fuck, I might as well put in for my ARP card now because I'm never getting in.
Yeah. Or there's that money we just, wasted because we're only gonna be able to do one.
They were moving those lines.
They were.
They were really, really moving them, and I respect that. They had high throughput on all the attractions, and I think that's partly because they knew customers standing in line aren't buying funnel cakes, they're not buying Cokes, they're not drinking at the Kraken, they're not all the other things they could be doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think they realized that, and they worked and put a lot of energy into moving those lines. So if you do go to Scout Island and you do see long lines, yeah, you're going to wait, but you're probably not going to wait nearly as long as you're afraid you're going to wait.
Yeah, that's true.
So the first attraction we did, just because we kind of landed next to it and the line for it was short, was the zombie laser tag thing.
Yeah.
Which name I already forgot. But yeah, the zombie laser tag thing, I'm just going to be blunt. I have never done a zombie laser tag thing that I felt worked as it was designed. And this one was not any different. It worked better than others we've done.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm not saying it wasn't fun. It was fun. But it was really funny because when you're in the queue and you're coming up and they have a little TV playing like how to use the gun and everything. Please hook it to your chest strap here. This is how you get ammo. This is how you do this. Please aim for da-da-da-da-da. And half that crap went right out the window. Like half it, like there was no chest strap. You didn't put on anything. You just held the gun in your hands, which would have been fine. There was no unlimited ammo that night.
Yeah, which I didn't realize, so I kept reloading. But
yeah. Well, you had to reload, but you had unlimited magazines.
Clips, yeah,
unlimited clips. So basically, we're going through, and it's, pap. But once again, a lot of the equipment did not seem to work. In particular, the zombie headband thingies were not working. Like there were a few that I would just shoot. You're shooting, and nothing's happening. And then others you would shoot just 2 or 3 times, and then boom, they would go red.
Yeah.
And the other issue was when we got done, one of the things that's in the video is that you will have a code name on your gun. There was no code name on the gun.
Yeah.
There was a number that was apparently mixed in with all the other numbers that was in the display, like your ammo count, your life count, and all these other counts. So I have no idea which number was my number. I have no idea how many zombies I shot.
Yeah, me either, because they are really specific about, okay, when you finish, be sure to look at the board. And so we start looking at the board.
Yeah. And then, please leave!
It's like, you can't stand here. I want to see my score.
So, yeah.
They're like, you got a lot.
This is the price of throughput.
Yeah.
Is that they really do rush you along. You don't get to linger around and so on and so forth. And I get that. But still, that was a little bit weird to be told various things and have them turn out not to be true.
Right.
They were obviously playing a very customized version of this game, and they were using the stock tutorial for it, and a lot of it didn't align.
Yeah.
One smart thing they did do, though, was when you're in what I'm calling it the bullpen, because you're in like this queue area where you got your gun,
right, and
you're waiting to actually go into the attraction. You can practice with it and shoot little targets they've got on the wall. Very smart move. It lets you get comfortable with the gun, comfortable with the reload mechanism, in a safe environment, and then you go in. And I've got to say, the other thing I was very impressed about was even though they were putting these groups in 1 per minute, 6 people per minute, 360 per hour throughput, I feel pretty confident that's the number. That's damned impressive. We did not run into another group.
No.
We were totally on our own. We were far enough apart that we never saw another group. No one crashed into us from behind. We didn't crash anyone in the front. That's something that's been super rare this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. Like I said, the equipment still wasn't working perfectly. There were some odd catches here and there, but all in all, it was a very, very fun time. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, it was. The zombies were the right amount of aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
There were prop ones, and there were real people.
Yeah, I was disappointed that a fair amount of the targets were props, but at the same time, I also understand, because if they just had the people zombies, there wouldn't have been a lot to shoot at.
Right.
Because even though they had a fair amount of people, it's also a very long course.
It is.
So, there's that.
Yeah.
All in all, worthwhile, especially, like I said, I was just blown away at how quickly they were moving people through that attraction.
Yeah.
When you said, I think we're going in, I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no freaking way we're going in. Yeah, we were going in. She was absolutely right. Okay, so we left there, met up with our friends.
Yes.
And then we went to the fun house.
Yay.
This one was kind of weird for me, because I could tell they took a lot of the stuff from the Cirque de Fear out of storage and put it up. In fact, including the Cirque de Fear sign.
Yeah.
Which, if you go back to our previous reviews of Mortuary, was not exactly our favorite year.
No, but this did seem more appropriate for it.
It actually made more sense in this environment. One thing that was very, very weird to me was the very first room in there was this very bizarre, very steep incline room where you had like these runner boards going across you could use for footing and along handrails to climb up and come back down and climb up and go back down like through a cattle gate system that's just on a rock and incline.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, I'm going, my knees are going to hate me.
Yeah.
And luckily they didn't. It was short enough and brief enough that it wasn't that big of a deal.
Right.
But we also didn't have like Ellie with us, who would have been completely just, nope.
Yep.
I can't do it, won't do it. Show me the way around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was very difficult to walk on.
Yeah, but all in all, it was a fun attraction. I mean, it wasn't anything too spectacular. It was the shortest of the three in terms of walkthrough time. I think it was only like 5 or 6 minutes long, realistically. It wasn't very big, but, if you're into the whole carnival, the circus theme, it's a good one. It had some pretty cool props in there. The actors were making great use of the space and running back and forth between scenes a lot.
Right.
It worked. It ended kind of abruptly to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit abruptly, but, it's kind of the less memorable of the attractions to me, because you had, like I said, we did it in the middle, which automatically handicaps it in terms of remembering.
Right.
But it's like, zombie, laser tag, pew, 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 pew. And then the third one is we're going to go to this really long trail haunt in the wilderness. And then there's this one in the middle that's a fun house, and it's like very short. And
yeah, I think I would have done them Funhouse, laser tag, swamp.
And that would have been the more natural progression for me, too.
Yeah. Because I forgot about the Funhouse. Because you said 3 attractions, and I'm like, there's a third? What was the third? Where did we go?
Oh, we did go into a third attraction.
Granted, I have haunt brain, but
Me lose brain? That's impossible.
Exactly.
But no, it was a good attraction, if not the most memorable. Still, it definitely it justifies its existence. And if you're going to go to both the Zombie Laser Tag and the Devil's Island Swamp, you're gonna be getting the All Access Pass anyway. It just makes money sense, so it's worth going to. Basically, consider it a free bonus.
Exactly.
Think of that one as the add-on haunt. That's how I'm gonna look at it. And that brings us to the Devil's Island Swamp tour thing.
Right.
And wow, the line for this beast.
Yeah. The line was long, but they were doing a good job.
Like I said, they did the throughput thing very, very well. And one thing they did I thought was very creative was they were doing their group division way, way back. Basically, there's a part where the line snakes through a shack.
Yeah.
Shack thing. It's kind of it's meant to look like a bait and tackle shop, basically.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Anyways, you go there and they give someone a lantern. That person has a lantern, and then they skip 11 people, and then the next one, then that person gets a lantern. And basically, you have the situation where you have your group of 12, I believe it was, demarked by who has the lantern. Go from lantern to lantern. So that way, when they get to the front of the line, they don't have to sit there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that.
Right.
It's a pretty clever system.
It is.
But I was very disappointed I didn't get to hold the lantern.
Yeah, so was our friend.
Yeah, our friend really wanted one of those lanterns.
Yeah, and the other problem with that system is that we had some VIPs show up, and they were put into our group. So now we went from a group of 12 to a group of 15.
Yeah, and that made it even more. A group of 12 was already a pretty large group.
Yeah.
Once again, price at the throughput. I get it.
Yeah. Well, and it was a wide enough trail that it would accommodate us without ruining scares for the most part.
There were a couple of places where you're going through constructed sets and you're being funneled into a more traditional haunt pathway. And in those, yeah, we tended to land toward the back. The group was shuffling the whole time.
Right.
And I got hit right in the groin by one of the members of our group.
Yeah.
She got scared, went flailing back, and when she did, her hands went down. It was unpleasant. That's not anything about the haunt. That's just one of my more vivid memories.
You just wanted to tell that.
It's a more vivid memory.
I wanted you to know his pain.
Press F below to leave your respects. But yeah, as far as the tour itself, though, there were long stretches where there was very, very little happening.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, the more frustrating part of it. So
right.
when you go through these segments, some of these segments are very beautifully constructed.
Yeah.
The church and cemetery sequence was just gorgeous.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
You go into these segments and there's scares and there's things going on, there's stuff happening everywhere. And then you exit there, you go on the trail, and there's very, very little for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And there was even one area where they had like the Pumpkin King eating a baby and so forth.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a neat prop, but there was nothing going on around it really.
Okay.
Not immediately around it.
Okay.
Why, you think am I remembering wrong?
That's where the Rougarous were.
Okay, maybe once again this may be the size of the group coming back to bite.
Yeah.
I do not recall them.
Oh. Okay.
I remember seeing them at a distance.
Right.
During one part, because we curled back on that, if I recall correctly. I remember seeing them in the distance, but I don't remember seeing them up close. And maybe like I said, the group size biting us a little bit there.
Yeah.
You know, for me with Scout Island, this is their first year.
Yeah.
This is absolutely. I know they've been working on it for 2 years. It's been a long-term project for these guys. They've put a lot into it. They've done a lot with it. But this is still year one.
Yeah.
Year two is going to be the real story for me.
It is.
I'm definitely going back next year, but year two is going to be the real story. If they're able to grow and expand and improve, then I think this could be a major kick-ass haunt and could be the fixture for New Orleans haunting.
Yeah, and the other thing about this is it was definitely geared towards families, and it was very family-friendly. Which we need in this area.
Yeah, and that is something we lack, like mortuary, and New Orleans Nightmare House is more family friendly now.
Yes, it is.
But mortuary does not really pitch itself to families. Neither does New Orleans Nightmare House. This is definitely a family experience in terms of how everything is set up, and I love the fact that, like I said, when you're between haunts, you have things to do.
Right, and this is one of those things that if a family goes and they have kids of different ages, then you could buy general admission for the kids that don't want to go into the scary parts. Yeah. And you could just roam around and
do the carnival rides and things like that. You've got other things you can do.
Exactly.
With them. You can take them to the Kraken bar and okay, don't do that.
No.
that's terrible advice.
Right.
This is why I don't have kids. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the quality of the haunts go, I definitely think they can do a lot more with what the space they have. We didn't comment on the scare zones. We did do 2 of them. The pirate one included both of them actually included dead ends.
Yeah, it was weird.
Dead ends are like major no-nos in haunt design.
Yeah.
I mean, dead ends are just something you're not supposed to have. And I gotta admire the actor in the Pirate Zone dead end. Because she did a great job telling the story, how they got here. And this way, like you, is a dead end. And I'm like, huh? We just turn around? We're like,
yeah. And then we turn around and there's like 15 people coming up behind us.
Yeah, and now there's like this crush of humanity. And even though the trail's fairly wide, we're having to push our way through the people coming in. Yeah, there's a reason why you don't want dead ends in an attraction like this.
Right.
And so that was a little frustrating, a little bit confusing. And honestly, the scare zones, the Headless Horseman one had more going on in it. The Pirate one had a few people popping out, and that one actor telling the story. Headless Horseman one had more people just roaming around doing
Right.
what I would expect in a scare zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, neither were what I would consider super special.
Yeah.
And and honestly, and the thing about it is this: is like the things that are included with the general admission ticket are probably not the things you're going there for.
Yeah.
The general admission gets you onto the property. It lets you see the scare zones. It lets you buy food, and things like that. But it doesn't get you on the carnival rides. It doesn't get you in the haunts.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, that confused me. And this is going back to the whole ticketing thing. I thought we just needed general admission at first until I started reading what was included in everything.
Right.
And really drilling down. So yeah, it was definitely worth the all access pass if you're going to go.
Yeah. And if you do get that, go earlier in the evening.
Yeah. They open some of the haunts at 6 and then more open at 6:30 and 7 if I recall correctly.
I thought they opened some of it at 4.
They opened the park
fair
at
part.
4. Yeah, they opened the fair park at 4, and then they started opening the actual haunted attractions as dusk hits, basically.
Right.
I would go, ideally, right at dusk, personally. That way, you'll still have plenty of time to go through all the attractions. I would also personally go on an off night, because from what we understand, even though they have incredible throughput, there were some long waits on the busier nights.
Yeah, I had some people tell me about them.
So my advice would be arrive around dusk sometime, and go on one of the quieter nights if you can. Also, I would like to see them do more with the actual carnival space in terms of the haunt stuff. They had a few tents set up, like a few scary things in there, a few static sequences. They also had a few carnival games that we didn't really do much with, but they were like to put the brain in the zombie and those types of things. And they're fun. We've seen the games at other attractions. I think the brain in the zombie one was literally at Statesville.
Possibly,
one very similar to it. We've seen the similar games at other attractions. I don't know if they're the exact same, but we've seen very, very similar ones at the very least at other attractions. They look fun, but that's not why we're there.
Nope.
All in all, I think this is a great attraction for families. As for my taste in haunting and what I'm looking for, I'm going to be curious what happens next year. I see a ton of potential here. I think they've got a great location. The wilderness is super spooky. And they definitely have a very, very good build team and a very good actor team doing it. I think this one might just need one more year to really pull it together. And if they can do that, I think Scout Island is going to be the place to go in New Orleans.
That seems fair.
Anything else? On that note, everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Garbage Horror Haunt Review 2018 for Scout Island Scream Park in New Orleans, Louisiana. We will see you guys next time. Bye.